Well, Ange, commiserations. Goes without saying this is tough and a tough place, and that was tough.
Yeah, it was tough. As I said, they're a good side, and especially here at home. Still disappointing, when you lose. And we were hanging in there. I think the second goal sort of took the game away from us. Once you go 2 goals down, then you've got to open up a little bit. But I can't fault the players in terms of their endeavour and their effort. It's been obviously a disruptive week for them, and the human beings, you've got to take that into context. And disappointed at the outcome, but in terms of the effort the players put in, I can't fault that.
You sort of had them at arm's length a little bit, didn't you? And then it's a worldy strike for the first goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean like I said, we weren't sort of had any control of the game, but the boys were really working hard to keep them away from our goal. And even when we were 1-0 down, I still felt, towards the end of the first half, we had a couple of sort of half moments where we started to break through, and I just felt, if we could hang in there, we could potentially get some grip in the game. But then you can see the second goal straight after half time, and they're an experienced team. They know how to handle that. So there's some lessons in there for us as well.
Yeah, horrible timing, horrible goal, wasn't it, that second one?
Yeah, just a moment of lost concentration, and good teams will punish you. But again, that's kind of a small matter in terms of where we're at. Like I said, I think from my point of view, what's really important now is we start work for the next game, have some training sessions with the lads, which will be invaluable for me and the staff and for the players themselves.
Yeah. It's probably the wrong thing to say to you, take positives out of today, but do you learn a lot from today, having seen them now in the flesh in a match?
Yeah, but I think most of that's positive for me because, like I said, it was a tough week. Our sort of back four got disrupted, losing Ola, and then you lose Murillo early in the game. So those kind of things don't help, but I have certainly some things to get excited about from my point of view. Anyway, maybe others won't, but some of the players. Elliot Anderson was just outstanding. Dylan Backward came on, and he looks like he's going to be really good for us. And guys hung in there. Guys like Neko Williams and Milenkovic, and they all hung in there even in a tough game. So the core of the group's really strong mentally, but there's plenty to get excited about as well.
Yeah, I know it was only a very small moment in the game, but that first touch from Dylan Backward at a new club showed a lot of promise, didn't it?
That's the exciting thing, and we still haven't seen a lot of these players. McAtee, Hutchinson, Douglas Luiz. I was contemplating putting him in today, but I think Wednesday night's a good game for him to sort of get his Forest career started. And guys like Hutchinson and Igor Jesus, Calamendi. I mean, all of them. They really haven't started their career. So, the beauty of sort of being in Europe and now, also Carabao Cup is we're going to have plenty of games to give them an opportunity. And, I'm sure that they'll all sort of push to play a significant part in our season.
And you mentioned all of those kind of new players, if you like. Only the one changed it, enforced, of course, because of Ola. Is that basically because of what you were saying? It's been a disruptive week. Kind of keep things as the same as you can. As you could.
Yeah. Look, I mean, you could have gone either way, but I just felt, if we can keep the core of the team together, it's been disruptive. Look, this is a difficult game when you're flying, let alone after the week the lads have had. So I just thought it made sense not to make too many changes, and didn't want to disrupt it too much. We only really had one training session together, so. But that's in the past now. Now we can, I can make decisions sort of moving forward as to which team I think will be best fit for every game.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier that those training sessions that you've got coming up between now and Wednesday will be very important for you.
Yeah, very. I mean, like I said, we've only had one session as a group, so every training session is gold for us right now. Because it allows us to give the information to the players that we want to give and help them through that process of us evolving as a team, and we'll get there.
I'm sorry to have to do this in your first post-match interview, but about the injuries, Ola obviously we were told it's a few months. And Murillo today, what's he done?
Yeah, look, it looks like it's just a knock, hopefully, so we'll obviously get it assessed, but hopefully it's just a knock, and should be available for next week unless it's something insignificant.